All right, we're back. It's Showdown Sunday here on the MLE Network. It looks like my microphone didn't mute itself this time, so we're good to go. Chimblade alongside me. I am Inanimate J. Hello, everybody. Welcome into the final day of Week 4 action here on the network. Chim, good to see you again. Cutting a little close this time, though.
Yeah. I just got here 3 minutes ago, but hey, at least I'm here, and Jay is great at stalling. He may not be, that great at... Actually, I was going to say something that you weren't great at, and then I couldn't come up with something that you weren't great at. So scratch that. Forget I said that. Jay is great at stalling like he is at everything else he does. Pandas and Elite for the first matchup of today. And this is an interesting one, Jay, because you mentioned to me before that the Elite is the last in their division, but they're also in one of the strongest divisions throughout the league. And Pandas are actually sitting at the very bottom of the league with a 3-12 record.
Yeah, the Pandas really needing to make up some ground right now. The Orange Conference is probably going to be one of the most competitive conferences in the league. The Volcanic Division, very much the gatekeepers of that division. The Elite right now, last in the division, but still almost in the top half of the Orange Conference right now. So that should tell you a very big story, at least, as to how these two teams probably should be matching up. It'll be Lo-Fi and Yukihashi for the Elite, Awesome Dixie and Lundo for the Pandas, and we shall see which of these two teams makes it out of here with the majority of the 5-game set.
And I don't think we have anything else to say before we get into this, right? So the players, they can just join ahead. I think it's time for them to start the first game of the series of 5.
Yeah, the Elite in their traditional purple with black trim. The Pandas in the light green with the black as well. Farmstead is the scene, the banjo playing in the background as we get things kicked off in Game 1. Chimblade with the call.
Yeah, there will be cows mooing, and I assure you it is mooing and not booing, so, do not be alarmed by the cows in the background. There is Awesome Dixie for the Pandas. The first clear of the game goes under his name. Out towards the center, Lundo for a shot. He saw Yuki pressuring him. That's a smart play from Yuki as well, starting the game off with a lot of pressure, cutting down the options for Lundo there. And that forces Lundo to make a bad shot, and eventually, in the long run, gives possession back to the Elite. Ball, however, is back in the purple zone, so the Elite do have their work cut out for them. A shot towards the far post, cleared out by Lo-Fi, and now it's the Elite for the first time in a while. Back on the attack, Yuki cuts to the center, finds goal 1 of Game 1.
Really good save by Lo-Fi there. Gets it hard upfield, forces Lundo back. You see him drift into the corner there, just not quite aggressive enough to that ball. Gives Yukihashi enough time to get on the end of that one, tip it in. Good opening goal for the Elite, something that they need here to keep pace with their divisional rivals.
See if they can do it, and so far it seems like they have been. Elite, however, like we mentioned, are starting the series off with the first goal that we've seen so far tonight. There's Lo-Fi keeping the pressure high, picks up the boost as well, which means that Awesome Dixie, as he rotates back, will have a little boost. Thankfully, however, the other corner boost on his defensive side did respawn, so boost overall to be even at about 70 average for all 4 players. Ball out towards the ceiling, shot from Dixie will not even connect, and that means Lundo has to work to keep the ball in the purple zone as Yuki looks to push away. It's towards the post, he's off to the races, and just barely sneaks it in for goal number 2, and the Elite once again extending that lead.
Yeah, desperation for the Elite there. Awesome Dixie, you see him flip back in. Might have been trying to bump Yuki, but then has no car recovery, no control in the net, just can't do anything to get there. It dribbles over the line, there was almost no velocity on it, but because the defender had no wheels to try and get back out to the goal line, couldn't make the save.
Yuki looking to find his 3rd goal of the game, secure a hat trick, as we call it in this sport. And one other, can you guess what sport that is? Probably, it's not a hard question, but hey, get you thinking. There's Lundo, out towards the corner, Lo-Fi trying his luck with a strong clear, and not lucky at all in that in the end, and has to just forfeit possession. Buy time for Yuki to get back in his own half, pick up some boost perhaps. Yuki actually avoiding the boost, going for the ball. Save from Lo-Fi, much needed. He'll continue to push forward. Yuki waiting at the top of the box. A simple pass from Lo-Fi is not needed, as he can do it all by himself off the bounce, securing goal number 3.
For the record, Shim, it's actually 2 other real-world sports where they call it a hat trick, but really good ball control from Lo-Fi up the boards there. Just needed 2 touches to get it out of his own corner, upfield, and into the open net for the Pandas there. A lot of pressure from the Elite right now. The Pandas still looking for a response.
Do they call it a hat trick in hockey? I am so on hockey.
Yes,
like
they call it.
Okay.
They call it a hat trick in hockey as well as European football.
Right. Okay. I got the football one, but then the hockey, I had no idea. I'm sorry. I should not have said that. I forgot you were Canadian. Anyways, Lo-Fi will miss out. Yuki doesn't have to do anything as Lo-Fi still continues his classic style of having a pass option open, but still going for the goal. It worked out once, did not work out the second time. So he's sitting 50-50. We'll see if he decides to continue to opt in for those shots, or if he chooses to go for the passes, because Yuki is making himself available, but Lo-Fi not taking it that often. Nice clear there over to Yuki. They almost finish it off as we approach halftime. Scoreline is still 3-0 for the Elite.
Pandas really need a response right now. They just can't seem to generate a lot of pressure. And again, you look at this play right here. Lundo up first, challenging the ball, no boost, so he can't get up into the air to try and challenge that one as it comes down off the crossbar. Now, Awesome Dixie drifting in just a little too far on that play, doesn't keep the pressure on, and the Elite come right back in a 2-on-1 situation.
Yeah, look at how quickly the Elite break away. That ball was so close to going in there from Lundo. He tries his luck yet another time, and this time it will be shut down by Lo-Fi. He's got a full tank of boost to work with, plays it out towards the wall. Nice little wall pass to himself. Lundo, though, cuts down the angle and pushes forward in front of the goal line yet again of the purple net. Awesome Dixie will whiff out completely on an opportunity to keep this game closer at a 3-0, but a 3-0 it will remain. Lo-Fi looking to make it 4-0. Cannot finish off the shot, tried to net it, but in the end came out empty. There's Lundo now, deciding if he wants to go for the dribble, and he goes for the dribble instead of the demo, and it works out. A very interesting route on his car, but he makes it work. Pandas decreasing the deficit.
Yeah, it actually looked a little weird. They're kind of rolled around the spoiler, not really sure how the physics worked on that one. Kept control of it, though, did really well to get it far side, tap it in on the post. They needed that. There's still time to get two, Chim. 90 seconds, not unheard of, as they go for the fake kickoff, trying to get a quick one.
And they try to get a quick one, they could not, and Yuki now back to Lo-Fi. Back over to Yuki once again, a nice little play. Both members involved in 3 touches. They cannot finish it off, and it's good that Panda's goal did come when it did, because if it came any later, it would have been very difficult, considering that it took them 3.5 minutes to actually find that opening goal. We'll see if that opening goal can increase their pace of play, as Lo-Fi looks for goal 4. A game-securing goal. He cannot secure it, though. There's Awesome Dixie on the dribble. Pops it up, and possession forfeited. Yuki has to get there quickly. He's not sitting on that much boost, so he's got 0 now as he uses it all to get to the ball, and in the end does not even touch it. It's Lundo out towards the right side. 50 more seconds remaining. 2 goals to make up. A centered ball. Dixie, thinking about the far post shot, opts out, and he'll go back to net now as Yuki is pushing on towards the green net. Awesome Dixie with the full tank. And the ball in his possession. A bit of a double commit there towards the right side of the pitch. If Lo-Fi find a strong clear here, that could mean the end of the game, and it won't be just yet. 30 more seconds, Jay, but I mean, still you see Panda getting 1 shot on net, then losing it. This time that 1 shot will go in, keeping us at a 1-goal margin.
I'm really curious as to how this shot went in there. Yuki goes up into the corner, doesn't really aggress the ball very much. Awesome Dixie with the shot. Lo-Fi was there. It looks like the Batmobile kind of failed on that one there, as it was just to the side of him, didn't get contact, and snuck in on the angle. Pandas with life, as they're down by 1 with just enough time to look for that extra goal.
Ooh, Awesome Dixie from afar. A bit too far and difficult angle for his liking. Lo-Fi, though, he's off to the races, and that's easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as they say. 4-2 for the Elite, and that may have just secured them the victory in Game 1.
The double commit in the corner there as Lundo gets caught out trying to rotate back through. Awesome Dixie just could not keep possession in that corner, and that's where that play broke down for the Pandas, left the runner back the other way. And it's something that they'll have to work on a little bit there. Notice that throughout this game, Chim, Awesome Dixie just a little bit too quick to trying to get to a ball, and it pulled him out of position on a number of occasions.
Yeah, you also can't put too much blame on Pandas there when you're down with, what was it, like 25 seconds. You have to score 1. Sometimes you have to double commit just to ensure some kind of pressure. They tried it, it didn't work out, so you can't harp on them too much, because it was a situation where you can excuse a double commit. But still, at least they kept it close, especially near the end there. The Pandas will go down 4-2 in the opening game of the series, but it was looking bright for them, like we mentioned, especially in the second half.
Yeah, I have to agree. The thing for me, though, is I don't mind the double commit so much as I mind the execution failure where he doesn't keep possession in that end, or at least put it in a spot where the Elite have to try and chase it down before they get it back. The way it played out, they just dropped possession right down, and it was far too easy for Lo-Fi to get that ball upfield and down into the open net for the dagger.
Yeah, fun stat as well to look at. Both teams sitting at 50% accuracy. 4 shots from the Pandas, 2 went in. 8 shots from the Elite, 4 went in. And they're also keeping it pretty close in terms of the number of shots on net that they saved, because every single shot that did not go into the back of the net was saved, which means that the shots were dangerous and they were forcing defenders to save them. We talked about this a bit yesterday, Jay, where sometimes you notice 10 shots and only one save and like one goal, which means the shots were weak shots or they were off the backboard or they're just wide a lot of times. But all these shots were on target.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty good for that reason, at least, that everybody's got those shots on net. So it's really coming down to who's able to get the hits past the goalkeepers. The one striking thing for me, no assists that game. Everybody doing the individual efforts to get the goals scored on the scoreboard there in game 1.
We'll see how game number 2 goes. Once again, this is a set of 5, and so far, Elite are looking to open it up with first blood yet again. We'll miss out, and Yuki will pick up full tank, settle down with the ball, make a living for himself. In the end, though, he will lose the ball to Awesome Dixie. It's played out towards the ceiling. Awesome Dixie, a touch to the backboard. Lundo to follow up on it. This is risky. They both committed to the purple zone, and if Lo-Fi can find a long clear, he can win out the game here with the first goal of the night. Won't do it, though. Lundo, yet another strike towards the center of the net. That's easy enough for Yuki to clear out. Lo-Fi now, hoping to not see a repeat of that pressure, because in game 1, we didn't see that much pressure congested in a matter of 20 seconds from Pandas, and in game 2 they came out, firing.
Yeah, a lot better start from the Pandas here, except for that little touch. Lundo trying to get up, climbs the ladder and gets contact, but he doesn't put it anywhere. Just dropped it straight down with the Elite already drifting towards the ball, ready for it when it came down. They need to be a little bit better with the ball at midfield, because when they lose it, they are getting pushed back so quickly on the counter.
Well, nice 1-2 play there, and yeah, speaking of counters, that was a nice counter from the Elite. A pass from the midfield from Yuki, back to Lo-Fi, and once again to Yuki, or Lo-Fi rather, once again back to Yuki. They're doing a good job of playing each other off the ball, combining, and also good, what's the word? They have a good variety in terms of pass length. They're not all long passes, they're not all short passes. They're mixing them up and forcing Panda to react to different kinds of passes each time they want to intercept a pass.
Exactly. They're spacing themselves out well. They're reacting to where one another is on the field. And that's a really important thing. They don't have this preset definition of what they're trying to do. Big demo! Dixie just can't find the handle on it. Could not direct it goalward. Big opportunity.
Oh, that's got to hurt for the Pandas. They set up everything. They got 95% of the way, and right before the finish line, they collapsed. And the marathon was over for them like that. 2:53 to go. There's a shot on net from Awesome Dixie, trying his luck from afar yet again. He will miss out, and even though the Pandas are still sitting 0-0, they're looking much better, and finally this one should go in. Their 4th shot of the game is the one that goes in. Lundo with a long-range snipe.
Yeah, just got past Yuki on that one. You see Lo-Fi cheating up a little bit there, wasn't ready for the potential that his teammate could lose the challenge in the corner, and that's where they get caught out. It's a great pinch straight down into the open net. A little bit of spacing issue for the Elite there as they try to transition onto offense and get that pressure going.
Oh, Panda, there they are back at it again. Nice bump there from Awesome Dixie. Following up on a shot, Yuki tried his best to get there in time, got a fingertip on it, but a fingertip is not enough. 2-0 for Pandas.
Can't save the ball if you're not in position to do so. Awesome Dixie just drilled Yuki into the back corner of that cage. It left so much space for the shot to come in from Lundo. Didn't have to do much with it, just keep it out of that range where Yuki could recover into. 2 goals on the hop for the Pandas here.
Let's, after this shot goes in, we'll talk about it later. Elite putting in their first shot of the game from a kickoff. We haven't seen them do that yet, and it works out in game 2.
Yeah, this one getting one to the side. Yuki actually already on that one. You see Lundo kind of double clutch, looking like he wants to challenge, realizes he's beat, tries to go back for that one, just didn't turn in time to cover that net down. It took 3 seconds after the Pandas got their second for the Elite to get one back on the board and cut that lead back down to single goal.
Yeah, let's compare and contrast game 1 and game 2 for the Pandas specifically. In game 1, in 5 full minutes, they put on 4 shots. So far, in half that time, in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, they've put on 5 shots. So they've already upped their pressure shot percentage from the last game, which is a huge improvement for the Pandas. That's where they were struggling, and they have since adjusted that, and look at how physical they're getting on the defensive line. They're bumping defenders out with Lo-Fi coming in. Cheeky play from the Elite to secure the equalizer.
Lundo, I think, makes the mistake here of jumping up to touch that down. And the problem with doing that is you struggle very, very much to recover your car's momentum and continue up the save. You saw him bring it down and then leap at the ball expecting Lo-Fi to take the shot. But the reason this gets set up is he doesn't keep the ball under his own control. He gives it up and lets Lo-Fi fake him.
Oh, Lundo has an empty net to work with. We saw him miss an empty net before. They double commit on the offensive side. That is not a good place to double commit. We said we could excuse their double commit last game because they were down by 1. They had 25 seconds. Right now they're equalized and they're have a lot of time. So double commit, you can't excuse that. But thankfully they've made up for it with goal number 3 as they find yet another empty net to capitalize on.
Yeah, huge mistake by Lo-Fi. He was underneath Yuki as he played the ball out from the corner, and then it got just behind Lo-Fi, and that left the ball wide open for Lundo. He was the last player in rotation. The Pandas just drive onto that one, open net, take the lead back.
Dixie tries a boomer from afar, will not work out to his advantage. Lundo, not the best save, but thankfully the backboard is there to help him out. You make mistakes like that. Lundo once again on the ball. Yuki, nice pass to Lo-Fi, who has decided to go AFK and grab a hot cup of hot chocolate, because I don't know why, but maybe he was just that thirsty. There's Yuki out towards the center of the field, looking to follow up on it. Thankfully, his teammate Lo-Fi has returned from the hot chocolate making. It's out towards the penalty box. Lo-Fi doesn't need a touch. His teammate Yuki from afar equalizes at the 1-minute mark.
The Pandas bully each other off the ball in this corner, left it wide open for the Elite to get onto. Yuki able to get up into the corner, down on the angle, but this one just breaks down as the communication lines between the two players in green. Nobody calls the ball, they both run each other off, and it's a tie game yet again.
You know, once again, the Elite actually this game improving their shooting percentage. They put on 4 shots and 3 have gone in, so 75% as opposed to the 50 from last game. The Elite getting less quantity, but increasing the quality overall. 44 seconds to go. The game all tied up. It's game number 2. The Pandas looking to fight back and hopefully equalize the series here. They can squeeze out game 2 victory. They've got 35 seconds plus X amount of overtime. There's Yuki out towards Lo-Fi to finish it off. Lundo wins it out though, and Awesome Dixie, he can't find a bump onto Yuki. I think he was looking to bump Yuki away and give Lundo a chance at pushing forward. Lundo gets the demo though off the ceiling, finds a reset. Fancy, but not effective at all. 15 more seconds. There's Lo-Fi on the dribble, looks to flick it above Lundo. Lundo, though, just barely gets a finger on it. There's Yuki on net. Out from the wall is Awesome Dixie, but he can't even leave the wall before the ball enters the back of his net.
Yeah, Lundo just popping that one up, really couldn't get it away. Yuki right down on top of it, just enough accuracy on it to get it in the top corner. But the ceiling shot, it would have been effective, except Awesome Dixie drifted so far towards Lundo to play the ball that the pass that developed from it just didn't turn into anything.
Well, fake kickoff play there, so look to get the advantage off the kickoff. 1 second, it has to stay up, and it won't happen. The Elite, once again, this happened last time, right? It was a close game, 3-2, and then the Elite, they found an opportunity, and they won the game, 4-2. This time they went 4-3. So the Pandas are getting closer, and the question is, can they close the gap completely and even find an advantage in game 3 before it's too late, before they have essentially lost the series?
Yeah, and again, with each loss here, the Pandas just sliding further and further down the standings as they now sit, at least as the live standings, at 3-14. And that is a long distance to try and make up in a league format where only the division leaders are guaranteed a playoff spot. After that point, it comes down to wildcard tiebreakers with every other team in your conference. And that's a lot of teams to fight with for the 2 remaining playoff spots. I mean, you got 12 teams in a conference, Jim. 3 of them make the playoffs. That leaves you 9 teams that you have to beat 7 of them to make the playoffs after that point.
Man, that is tough, and that just goes to show how important each and every win is for the Pandas here moving forward to Game 3. And again, another thing to note out, the Elite repeated, at least on the scoreboard, what they did in Game 1. 8 shots, 4 went in. The Pandas, this time around, 7 shots, 3 went in, as opposed to Game 1, where they put on 4 shots and 2 went in. So they did increase the number of shots, but as we approached the final minute of that Game 2, it became more and more similar to Game 1, where control went back to the Elite. So if Pandas can increase their endurance and hold on to control for the full 5 minutes, they have a very good chance at making it a 4-3 in their favor in this game.
And the biggest difficulty, I think, right now is the Pandas need to calm down and stop lunging into chances there. You see them in the same spot so frequently because of how they're rotating around one another. They're not spacing out. They're not giving themselves time to react and respond to the play as it develops. They're just going for every first-time touch.
Oof, Lo-Fi almost gets one on it. Thankfully, Lundo is there on the ground to clear it away. Gets baited out by the boost. If Yuki had hit that, which in a parallel universe he may have, it would be a 1-0 for the Elite, but it's not that parallel universe, it is this universe, and it is a 1-0 for Pandas.
Again, Lo-Fi a little bit too narrow, or too wide, I should say, on a chance in front of the net. Found himself so far to the far post that he left a big opening in the middle for Lundo to drive that one downfield on the counterattack. They have to be really careful on their spacing. Need to be a bit further back, I think, to respond if the pass isn't on.
3 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in game number 3. A very important game for the Pandas. We saw them come out like this in game number 2, and slowly but surely they started to lose the game. They lost control. They got weaker and weaker in terms of the amounts of shots it took them to actually put one in the back of the net. Hopefully that does not repeat, because right now they're looking good. They're 1 for 1. A great 100%. Back them up there on the stat line. There's awesome Dixie from the corner. Loses out to Lo-Fi. Lundo commits to the same corner. That is a risky play. You do not want to commit to the same corner unless you're sure you can buy time later to rotate back. There's Lo-Fi out towards the crossbar. Second touch is on net. That will be saved out though by awesome Dixie, and a bit risky there for the Pandas, but thankfully they were able to escape unscathed.
Yeah, they're committing really heavily into these doubles, and they're using a lot of boost to do that. It was a huge save by Dixie to keep the Elite off the board here, but the Pandas are playing with fire at the moment. They need to stretch this lead out, and the longer that they invite the Elite to take shots on their net, the more and more difficult that becomes.
Yeah, moral of the story, don't play with fire, kids, because it is dangerous. There's awesome Dixie out towards the corner, bounces one up to himself for the second touch. He finds it. He might need a third, though. He's coming down on it. Will not get it. Lundo secures the top shelf. Or Mama does not ever dust. 2-0 for the Pandas.
This is a perfect wait by Lundo there. Dixie looking for the triple touch, gets both Lo-Fi and Yuki Hashi watching him, waiting to see what's going to happen. It gives Lundo the perfect opportunity as both Elite players bait towards the ball to just wait on the bounce and put it straight into an unguarded net.
Oh, Yuki, a quick breakaway attempt will not go in his favorite. Lo-Fi looking to keep this game a close one. Trying to bring that deficit back to just 1 goal. Can't do it though. There's Lundo now in the air, looking for the second touch, and he got it. He scooped the ball up, went underneath to try to pop it up. Yuki, however, was waiting that exact play. As the skill ceiling gets higher and higher, players also get more used to responding to interesting and innovative shots like that on net. Thankfully, Yuki was good enough to stop that one out. There's a 2-0 still though, and the Pandas, they're holding on. They said we said they're playing with fire but not extending the lead, and now they're looking to build on it. They're not sitting back when they're up 2-0. They're looking to they're hunting down that goal number 3.
Exactly. They're finally getting the midfield pressure they need, but that touch by Lundo might just set something up. Dixie, though, very well positioned to deal with that one. Looking for that chip shot. Might actually get there, if not for Yuki. Big save by Yuki. The camera cutting away at the last second, but that was a really well finessed touch to find the post with that shot labeled for the net.
Oh my god, that was like a mid-air passing play, but it ended up being a save instead of a goal. This could be goal 3, though. It will go out, and Dixie, an easy rebound. The 8th shot of the game for the Pandas. Just look, 8 shots for Pandas, 6 for Elite. Nothing for the Elite to show on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and Lo-Fi, unfortunately, I think missed the corner boost trying to come across, didn't have the velocity needed to challenge that one. Yuki trying to go to that one as Dixie put it up off the ceiling, just kind of got caught out, didn't have a great play on the ball. Might be too far for the Elite to come back here in Game 3.
Yeah, Pandas, we said this was much needed from them because they are down 2-0 in the series, and this will keep the entire series competitive. We'll have a competitive Game 4 and hopefully a competitive Game 5, but why talk about Game 4 and Game 5 when Yuki is looking to just end it here in game number 3. There's Dixie out towards the near post. Will go up and above both defensemen from the Elite. Lo-Fi says, you know what? I'm going to score on my own net because I'm tired of seeing Lundo score, and in the end, Lundo still gets the last touch. So he tried, but he did not succeed.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Elite panic setting in there as that ball hovers on the goal line. Really need to keep your head times like that. You have to just buckle down, wait for that ball to get in a spot where you can play it effectively, and then clear it away.
This happens sometimes where a team will come out strong, win 2 games in a row, and then suddenly the team that was losing those 2 games will put out a huge victory like this. We actually saw it today in DreamHack, the PSG G2 game, where PSG was like down, they were at game point or something, and then they just 7-1'd or something. So it is a huge momentum swing for the team that was previously playing from behind that has found such a huge lead, like a 4-0 in a very important game for them. So props to Pandas for being able to fling momentum back their way.
Yeah, I actually missed that series. I had to work today.
That sucks, dude. You are missing out on a lot of fun stuff because of that stinky thing called work. Just quit, dude. Just like live off of, I don't know, love. Just go to Safeway and say, I love you, cashier. Please give me my groceries.
Yeah, that's not how it works. You know,
it's not.
No,
oh,
I think that might be a difference between America and Canada, where we have to pay for things, except for healthcare. We don't pay for healthcare.
You're doing your taxes, but whatever. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. You also pay with how long you have to wait to actually like see a doctor. But that is a different. Different.
I can go and see a regular doctor. I can go and see a clinic doctor. I just have to wait like 6 months for an MRI. No big deal.
Exactly, and here it's like 1 week. So you pay no matter what, whether it's with time or with money. But that's a different thing. That's a different thing. It's Pandas up against the Elite, and like we said, the Pandas, after going down 2 games in a row, have finally found an insane victory, 4-0, unprecedented, really, just by looking at the series overall.
It was a really solid response game, and I think I might have just disconnected from the server because I hit ready. Everybody's oh no, there we go. All right, yeah, the servers were giving me a little bit of issues on the way in tonight, so hopefully everything is cool. But the Pandas, I think, just need to keep up this tempo. They need to keep pushing the Elite back into their own end. They need to keep forcing them into situations where they're going to struggle and run them out of boost, because that is really where the Elite seem to be having a problem right now.
They have to fix it in Game 4. I mean, they don't have to fix it in Game 4. They can wait to fix it in Game 5, but they may as well just fix it in Game 4, because, you know, why wait to make a Game 5 such a tense one if you can just win the series here and maybe even look for the 4-1 in Game 5. It's up to the Elite here as we head into the opening couple of seconds of game number 4 of this series of 5 on Farmstead. There's Lundo out towards the left corner, looking to follow up on it as well, is sitting on enough boost to do so, he thinks, and in the end, Lo-Fi will win that contest near the ground. There's Awesome Dixie out towards the penalty box of the purple team, and thankfully there is a Batmobile wearing a purple jersey to take care of the ball. Lundo looking to contest, will lose out, and the ball's out towards the corner. The team is slowing down in pace, because if you go back to game number 2, game number 3, the Pandas started off with a lot of pressure. Opening shots was from the Pandas, and now the game has congested to the midfield. As I say that, Dixie with a boomer at the center circle finds it in the back of the purple net.
Really good pass by Lundo here. Just tips this outward away from the Elite. Dixie, really good inversion to get that shot on target. Perfect power on that one. 100 kilometers an hour, dead even, straight up the middle there. Pandas take the lead here in Game 4.
Pandas took the lead in Game 2, lost it, took the lead in Game 3, and won a 4-0. So we'll see which Pandas we see in Game 4. For them, hopefully it's the Game 3 Pandas. For Lo-Fi, hopefully it's the Game 2 Pandas. And for the rest of the lead as well. There's Lundo putting one center. Yuki misses out, and Lo-Fi will have to follow up. Play one out towards the wall. Didn't like these double touches from the wall or from the ground. He does pace after them a little bit too eagerly at times. There's Yuki in the corner, but he does give up possession to Awesome Dixie. He actually follows up on it as well, so a risky position, but Yuki makes the best of it, puts one on net. Lo-Fi on the rebound. The save was very, very close there from the Pandas, but the equalizer will go in regardless.
Yeah, unfortunately, Lundo gets caught chasing the ball there as that shot comes off from Yuki in the top corner. Lundo lunging to try and play that, doesn't get the contact, falls for Lo-Fi, and that's really just an open net chance. Pandas in transition, getting burned there. Need to find another lead.
Nice pass out to Yuki. It almost connects, but Awesome Dixie intercepts it. Looks for the chip towards the near post. Lo-Fi is on top of that. There's Lundo out to himself off the backboard. Needs a teammate. He actually passes it back. There's Dixie waiting for a shot on net. Will not get it. 3:08 remaining, and the game is still tied at a 1-1. A very different game than we've seen before. Definitely the most even game, because at this point in the game we would see one team very obviously ahead in terms of shots on net, and usually ahead as well in terms of shots that went in. But now they're tied 3-3 on shots on net, and we're equalized 1-1. So a very close game 4, as opposed to the whatever it was, the chaos we saw in the last game.
And the Pandas right now feel like are just getting a little bit better of the challenges, although that huge double commit, the Elite don't have boost to try and take advantage, as you see Lundo streaking back. Both Elite players there run completely out of boost. That's what I was talking about in between games. The Pandas doing a very good job on the boost control, as Lundo looked for an audacious drop, just didn't quite get the contact right.
Almost well done there from Lundo to get his team to lead. Lo-Fi though on the air dribble, drags it out towards the center of the net. Lundo doesn't have to move a muscle. All he does is hit a couple of buttons and makes his car flip, keep his team at a 1-1. There's Lundo out towards his teammate, will miss out, and we've seen the Pandas expose themselves to a counterattack, but the boost has never been there for the Elite. It's not there once again, and the Pandas are still keeping up the pressure. They can't overextend their stay. They should back out like they are now, get some boost, and set up for Yuki's shot on net. There it is. Dixie misses out. He's out of position. Lo-Fi for the near post. Misses out yet again, and the third shot will be the one that gives Elite the advantage in Game 4.
Yeah, unfortunately, the pressure off the backboard here, it's low, but that's really all that matters because Awesome Dixie is caught circling, trying to play that ball. Lundo nowhere near the play. The Elite just stand there at the near post, throw balls at it until they relent. And it's a 2-1 lead now for the Elite here as they look to cinch up the series in Game 4.
Yeah, there's a shot towards the net. Lo-Fi will pick up a save green medal. A shout out as well to Cloud Fuel for the 8 months in a row of support to that team, to MLD. So thank you so much, Cloud Fuel. 1:30 remaining, still 2-1. There's Yuki out towards the center. Played out now towards the wing. Lo-Fi will pick up some boost, and the ball will be went out by Lundo. Yuki is there, out towards the left side. Follows up as well towards Lo-Fi. Nice little doink there from Lo-Fi. Follows through, picks up a full tank of boost. Lundo, though, the long clear out from the backboard. Keep his team only behind by 1, looking to equalize here. Yuki, nice save from him, and now this is the point where Pandas is okay with double committing like they are now. Lundo misses out. Thankfully, Yuki cannot get there in time, and Awesome Dixie, he's prepared for the double commit because he knows if his teammate does not get the touch, he's there to back it up, and now he's got the pressure on the purple side. A pass center actually does not even connect for the pass, and Yuki clears it away. 40 seconds to go. Pandas still hunting down that equalizing goal.
They really needed that touch by Dixie to set that up. Had the Elite in transition, just went right underneath the ball instead of getting contact to scoop it up over the crossbar, looking for that touchdown. The big misplay by the Pandas here is they need to transition back to offense quickly.
20 seconds to do so. There's Lo-Fi. They're looking to keep the ball in the green zone for as long as possible. Lundo has broken away. There's Dixie missing out. Not helpful at all to this team right now. Yuki out towards the center. Dixie doing his best with the minimal amounts of boost he has to pressure the ball. They both committed here. 3 more seconds to go. The wall is the final hope for these boys, and in the end, will drop as Elite picks up a victory in game number 4. This means Elite has won the series overall, but there's still a game 5, and if the Pandas can win game 5, it's much nicer to go out 3-2 than it is 4-1.
Exactly. You want to pick up every possible win. You never know when a team that you're chasing is going to start throwing games later on in the season. If they go through a really rough patch, you pick up a few wins here and there, you start getting over the wins on your opposition, and all of a sudden that 3-12 start after 3 weeks turns into the sneaky playoff spot through the wild card at the end of it. But this game, Chim, I think really felt like the Pandas kept that knob of aggression up at 11, and then tried to push it a little bit too far, like into the 12, and then possibly rip the knob off, and it got them caught on a couple of occasions.
That is an excellent image, and I'm going to steal that at some point.
I hope you do.
You would be okay with me stealing? You're such a humble guy, Jay. Oh my god. How I want to grow up to be like Jay. That is my mission. 5 minutes on the clock, though. The mission for the Elite, it looks like, is to keep this game as far away from being a close one as possible. If they can just destroy game 5, give Pandas a taste of what they did to them actually in game number 3, win out 4-0, 5-0, demoralize the Pandas with the final game they have, that could set up the Elite for a very good look in their division, because like we mentioned, they're actually in the strongest division in the league overall, and they're in last place, but they can maybe climb a couple of spaces and stay competitive overall in the league. 4:30 on the clock. Obviously 0-0 here, as nobody has done anything too scary. Each team picking up 1 shot on net, but nothing too dangerous whatsoever. There's Lo-Fi. Breakaway quickly. Awesome Dixie, though, wins it out in the midfield. Yuki has Lo-Fi waiting center. A shot on net is all he's going to need, and it's a simple shot as well, as both the defensemen are in the same position. 1-0 for the Elite.
Both Pandas caught in transition without boost. They never quite recovered to get back and find enough boost to put themselves in a position where they could defend effectively. At that point, it was really just a matter of getting the ball to the front, which the Elite did very effectively. They take the lead here in Game 5.
And look at how the Elite have come out in game number 5. 3 shots on net to the mere 1 of the Pandas. We saw the Pandas explore their options in games 2 through 4, and they're the ones who came out with the more shots on net and actually ended up with more shots on net overall in games 3 and 4. But finally, they're able to put in their second shot of the game, find their first goal of the game.
Yeah, Lo-Fi on the dribble here just really holds it a bit too long. Lundo very, very well positioned, reads it well, gets it right before the flick can come in from Lo-Fi, drills it straight down. Yuki never expected it. Tie game for the Pandas.
Pandas need a tie game because, like I mentioned, every game counts. They cannot think about how they've lost the series already. They have to try to keep it close and only go down 3-2. There's Yuki out towards the corner. You got Lo-Fi once again waiting for the follow-through pass. The connection does not happen, and now Lundo service out towards Awesome Dixie. Cannot find the proper channels, and Yuki will be able to intercept, and hopefully Lo-Fi is there as well. He got possession and falls on the ground. Looks to chip it up from that Batmobile, and instead it's a long clear the other way, and Awesome Dixie finds his team back on top, 2-1.
Same player for the Elite, different Pandas player, reading the flick perfectly. And again, Yuki caught in the motion of cheating up, trusting his teammate to win that flick too much there. Has to wait and has to recognize the challenges coming in. The Elite give up 2 easy goals.
The Elite, they do not want to be giving up easy goals. Maybe they're getting overconfident. They say we won the series, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then it's going to come, time for tiebreakers. And they're like, wait a second, if we had just tried a little bit more in that game 5 and not let so many easy goals go in, we wouldn't be losing this tiebreaker. So it's very important for them here in game 5. Lo-Fi understands that. He'll go off to the races for the equalizer at the 3:08 mark.
Unfortunately, the Pandas, the way that they choose to come back on defense is really what kills them here. Lundo tried desperately to get that one away. You can see what his mind was going through. Wanted to flick that ball away, just never caught up to it to make contact. That was, again, too easy for the Elite going up the other way. No team, I think, in this game so far scored a goal where they really had to work for it. It's the other team gifting it. And another example of that there is Lo-Fi taps in off a Pandas miss.
Yeah, Christmas come late or come early. It's up to you and how you interpret. But it's just gifts. Gifts everywhere. And I think the team that stops giving will be the team that starts winning, actually, as unethical as they may seem. Sometimes you gotta take, don't give, but not always. But like in Rocket League, sometimes giving is not your best option, unless by giving you mean giving your teammate passes. That's good giving, but giving your opponents open windows to score on, that's the bad kind of giving. Believe it or not, what your teachers told you in elementary school is not always true. There's Lundo out towards the center, needs a follow-up from Dixie. It's off the crossbar, ricochets away, still in front of the goal line. Clear will come through, thankfully, as Awesome Dixie tries his luck yet again. But that was all he was doing, trying his luck. He knew that he didn't have the boost to follow up. He knew that all it would do was just give his team some more time. And in the end, they're able to find a couple more shots off of that pass that initiated from Awesome Dixie. But in the end, nothing really to show for it as we approach the halftime mark. It's still 3-2 for the Elite.
I was wondering how long you were going to let that sharing versus giving analogy go. That really went on a lot longer than I expected, so well done for keeping that one going much further than my expectations. But the Pandas get caught here trying to transition. It's not the greatest clear as Yuki comes off the backboard. You see Awesome Dixie and Lundo both up. They don't get the power to get that clear. The shot from Lo-Fi just behind Lundo as he can't react.
Yeah, sometimes I can tell from first-hand experience, not in Rocket League, but from playing European football as a goalkeeper, when you have like a defender in front of you and they miss the ball and you have no idea what's happening because it's like a big old fat dude in front of you, you're like, I can't see anything. That can happen in Rocket League too, where your teammate will go up for the play, miss the shot, and you have no idea where the ball's coming from until it's in the back of your net because he was blocking it down your vision. That could have been the issue because they were positioned decently well. They had one pressuring the ball, one on the goal line. The ball just came at such an angle that the vision wasn't there for that goal line defenseman, for the goalkeeper. And in the end, it means goal 4 for the Elite as they push forward with a 2-goal advantage over their opponents in game number 5. Very important game for the Pandas because, again, they want to keep this a close series. There's Lo-Fi missing on purpose? Question mark. The save, though, from Awesome Dixie from the penalty box will keep his team alive and back towards the purple side. Lundo can try his luck from a shot, goes for the center. Maybe it was a pass, actually, to his teammate Dixie, but in the end, it's just an interception by Lo-Fi and the Elite now back towards the green zone. Dixie following up on his own shot, plowing through the defensive line. A pass center almost works out. Lo-Fi, though, will clear this one away. And the Elite, at this point, Jay, they can sit back, relax, enjoy the show. They don't have to work too hard. They just clear the ball to the corners. If they find opportunities to score, they can take them, but no need to really be that aggressive.
And the one thing I think for the Pandas is that aggressiveness that served them well in Game 3, that balance that we saw that they really struck there, what they've lost is the cohesiveness to that aggression. Both players are chasing the balls down. They're being a little bit over-aggressive over top of one another, and it's leading to the Elite having good opportunities for the clears, and that's where the Pandas really broke down this game. They didn't have a chance to build up pressure because they kind of stepped over one another.
Yeah, Game 5, following suit to Game 4, where the Pandas, in the end, will still come out with the most shots on net, but they'll have the least goals. In Games 1 through 3, it was the complete opposite situation. In Games 4 to 5, it's sort of flipped around, and the Elite are taking advantage of both situations. Whether they put more shots on net, they can still win. If they put less shots on net, they can ensure those shots make a bigger impact overall. That's the Elite, taking the series 4-1 over the Pandas, and once again, we mentioned the Pandas are at the bottom of their league, so this only hurts them that much more.
Yeah, this is another tough series to take for the Pandas. They're really struggling right now to find the cohesiveness in a very competitive league. And the Elite, 4 wins, that goes a long way to catching up to the rest of their divisional rivals who have all put up very good results so far this week. We'll see their other divisional rival up next. It'll be the Demolition and the Rhinos playing in the Orange Conference. But we have a little bit of business to tend to first. Chim, you and I need to shill a little bit for our awesome sponsors. If you're looking for some CPU cooling upgrades, maybe some case fans, check out our friends at Arctic Cooling. You can see their website and their range of products at arctic.ac. If you've loved the plays that you've seen today, clip your favorites. Tweet them to us at MLDoubles with hashtag MLDPOTW to submit them for the MLD Play of the Week, presented by Balls Guarana Energy Soda. Get a free case of Balls, or get free shipping on your next order at balls.com with code MLD. That's Balls, BAWLS.com. So we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to segue out into the buttons. I think I saw a Kendo Slice somewhere out in the audience. We'll get him in here to cast the next couple of games. But for now, I will step aside. Shim and Kendo will bring you the next game as Sunless Khan will take to the pitch for the Rhinos. We'll see if he has what it takes to not suck against the Demolition of the Volcanic Division. Stay with us, folks. Showdown Sunday continues right after this.